I recently did something no police chief should ever have to do. I let two men in fake uniforms cuff me on my own porch, with the HOA president grinning from ear to ear. Their reason? They said I was in violation of community by. Funny thing is, the only thing tested that day was my patience, not their authority. But let me start from the beginning. I stand in the middle of my new living room. The smell of fresh paint hangs in the air. It smells like a clean slate. Boxes are everywhere, cardboard mountains I have to climb. One is labeled kitchen. Another says, old files, burn. I smile at that one. My wife, before she passed, had a sense of humor about my job. Most of those files are commendations and case notes from 20 years on the force, 15 in SWAT. The last 5 as chief of police. This house is my reward. It's my quiet place. The street is lined with big oak trees. The houses are neat. The lawns are green. It's the kind of neighborhood where you hear birds in the morning, not sirens. I bought it for the silence. My grandpa used to say, a man's home is his castle, but he also said the best castles have quiet neighbors. I'm hoping for quiet neighbors. I open a box labeled books. Inside, on top, is a framed picture of my grandpa. He's in his old army uniform, looking stern, but with a twinkle in his eye. He taught me how to shoot, how to fish, and how to spot a liar. He believed in real order, the kind that lets good people live their lives in peace. Not the fussy kind, but the sturdy, common sense kind. He'd like this place. He'd tell me to check the fence line first thing, but this neighborhood doesn't have fences. It feels open, trusting. That's a nice change. For 3 weeks, it is perfect. I unpack. I set up my workshop in the garage. I meet a few people. Neighbor Duke from across the street waves every morning. He's a big guy with a bigger laugh who seems to be permanently attached to a leaf blower. Another neighbor, a young family, brings over a plate of cookies. It feels like a community. The job feels a million miles away. I start to breathe again. I start to sleep through the night. Then the first piece of paper appears. It's tucked under the wiper blade of my truck, a personal pickup, not my department vehicle. It's a bright red sheet of paper. The words are printed in an angry, bold font. Violation notice. I read it. My lawn, apparently, is 1/4 of an inch too high. It violates Section 4, Paragraph B, of the Oak Street Community Covenants. A fine of $50 is assessed. The notice is signed by Karen Van Vliet, President, Oak Street Homeowners Association. I look at my lawn. It looks fine. I look at my neighbor's lawn. It looks the same. I feel a familiar tightening in my gut. It's the feeling I get when I see a bully picking on someone smaller. It's not anger. Not yet. It's a cold, heavy sense of duty. I've seen this 1,000 times. Someone gets a little bit of imaginary power and it goes straight to their head. They invent rules to feel important. They create order that serves no one but their own ego. I fold the notice and put it in my pocket. I decide to ignore a mistake. I know, but it's my day off. I want to pretend I'm just a guy in a new house, not a cop who smells a rat. The next day, there are 2 red notices, one for the lawn and a new one for my trash can. It was visible from the street for 3 hours past the designated pickup time. This fine is $75. The total is now $125. This Karen Van Vliet is efficient. I'll give her that. The notices are starting to feel less like a nuisance and more like a probe. She's testing the fence. She wants to see if there's a dog in this yard and if it will bite. The language is escalating. Words like immediate compliance and further action are sprinkled in. It's boilerplate intimidation. It's meant to scare people who don't know any better. People who think an official-looking piece of paper holds the power of law. My grandpa's face comes to mind. He would have called this a pocket tyrant, a small person making a lot of noise to seem big. He would have also told me that you don't let a weed take over your garden. You pull it up by the roots, fast and clean. I look out my window. A woman is walking a small, yapping dog. She stops in front of my house, stares for a moment, and makes a note on a clipboard. She has sharp features and a haircut you could use to level a picture frame. I have a feeling I'm looking at Karen Van Vliet. She looks my way, and our eyes meet. She doesn't smile. She gives me a look of pure, unadulterated smugness, the look of a queen surveying her domain. But my quiet street doesn't feel so quiet anymore. It feels like occupied territory. The test is over. Now, I have to decide how to respond. And for a man like me, there's only one way to deal with a bully who wraps herself in fake authority. You don't just prove her wrong. You dismantle her entire world with the real thing. She's about to find out what happens when she messes with the chief of police. Her little game is over. My game is just beginning. The next morning, I drive downtown, not to my office at the police department, but to the county clerk's office. It's an old building, all marble and dust. The air smells like old paper and bureaucracy. I like it. It's a place of facts. Facts are stubborn things. They don't bend to opinion or bluster. They are the foundation of the law. I walk up to the public records counter. A woman with glasses on a chain looks up at me over a mountain of files. She looks tired. She probably deals with 100 different dramas a day. Can I help you? She asks, her voice flat. Yes, ma'am, I say. I'd like to see the incorporation papers and filed covenants for a homeowners association. I give her the name, the Oak Street Homeowners Association. She types the name into her computer. Her fingers move slowly, deliberately. She squints at the screen. She types it again. Then a third time. She sighs. It's a sound that says, "Here we go again." "There's no record of an HOA by that name," she says. "Not in this county." I nod. I expected this, but expecting it and proving it are two different things. "Could you check for any variations? Oak Street community, Oak Street neighbors, anything like that?" She types again. More sighs, nothing. No registered HOA for that entire subdivision, ever. It was zoned single-family residential back in the 70s. No covenants were ever filed with the original plat. "Are you sure you have the name right?" "I'm very sure," I say. I show her one of the red notices. She holds it up to the light, then reads it. A small, humorless smile touches her lips. "Ah," she says, "one of these. It happens more often than you'd think." She continues. "Someone decides they're the queen of the block. They print up some letterhead. Most people just pay. They're afraid of trouble. They don't want to make waves. That's the fuel a bully runs on. The fear of making waves. They count on good people being quiet." "I need a certified letter," I say, "a document stating that an official search was conducted and no homeowners association with that name, or any associated covenants, exists in the county records." Her smile widens a little. "Official letterhead. Notarized seal. $25. "I'll take 2 copies," I say. While she prepares the documents, I think about Karen Van Fleet. I think about the sheer audacity of it to just invent an organization and use it to extort money from your neighbors. It's fraud. It's conspiracy. And it's a direct assault on the rule of law. It creates a shadow government on a single street, run by one person's whims. When does order stop serving people? It stops the moment it's disconnected from truth and consent. My grandpa served in a war against people who decided they could write their own rules for everyone else. He saw what happens when lies are allowed to grow into something that looks like power. He'd say this little HOA is a symptom of a bigger sickness, a lack of respect for the lines. The clerk comes back with 2 crisp, official-looking documents. She'd also checked the state business registry. No HOA or corporation under any variation of the name. The seal on the bottom is raised. It feels heavy in my hand. It's a weapana. Simple, quiet, powerful weapon made of paper and truth. I could go home right now. I could walk over to Karen's house, hand her this paper, and tell her to stop. I could show it to my neighbors. The game would be over. But that's not enough. It's not enough because she wouldn't stop. She'd just move, or change the name, or find a new crop of victims. You don't scare a wolf away from the sheep. You cage it. The letter from the clerk proves she has no authority, but it doesn't prove her crimes. For that, I need more. I need to let her keep playing her game. I need to give her more rope. I need her to escalate. I need to catch her and anyone working with her in the act. So undeniable, so brazen, that a judge will have no choice but to make an example of her. This isn't about a $50 fine anymore. It's not even about my street. It's about all the people who have been bullied into pain, the ones who moved away because of the harassment. I can see their files in my mind, even though I haven't found them yet. I know they exist. Bullies always leave a trail of broken lives. On the drive home, I call my best lieutenant, Danny Reyes. She's my rock at the department, smart.com, and knows the law better than most lawyers. "Danny, it's Mark. Everything okay, Chief? You're supposed to be on vacation. Mostly. Listen, I need a quiet background check. Off the books for now. A woman named Karen Van Fleet lives on my street. What did she do? Criticize your gardening skills." Danny's humor is as dry as mine. "Something like that," I say. "Just give me the basics. Priors, financials, known associates. Keep it on your desktop only. No official files yet." "You got it," she says. "Is this going to be one of your projects?" I can hear the smile in her voice. My projects are legendary at the precinct, cases that start small, the ones nobody else sees, the ones that unravel into something big and ugly. Let's just say, I tell her, "I think I found a weed in my new garden, and I'm going to need a bigger shovel." I hang up. The certified letter sits on the passenger seat next to me. It's the truth, but the truth isn't always enough. Sometimes you have to let the lie get so big that when it collapses, it takes everyone involved down with it. Karen Van Vliet wants to play a game of rules and consequences. She has no idea I've been playing it my whole life, and I never lose. She's about to escalate. I'm going to be ready for her. That evening, my house transforms. It's no longer just a home. It becomes a tactical observation post. I open a box from the garage. It's not full of tools or old memories. It's full of equipment stuff I've collected over the years. Miniaturized, high definition, and completely legal to own. I rig discrete exterior coverage tied to my private server. Motion sensors, facial recognition, license plate readers. Next is the personal gear. I take out a small device that looks like a shirt button. It's a high-fidelity microphone. I swap it with a button on one of my favorite casual shirts. The range is about 50 feet. It will pick up every word, every threat, every whisper. I test it, walking around the house, talking in a low voice. I play it back. The audio is crystal clear. I can hear the hum of the refrigerator. I can hear the clock ticking on the wall. It will be more than enough. The final piece of the puzzle is a ring. It's a simple black band I wear on my right hand. It looks like a fitness tracker or a piece of modern jewelry. It's not. It has one function. If I press the side with my thumb in a specific two-tap sequence, it sends an encrypted, high-priority alert. The alert goes to a single person, Lieutenant Danny Reyes. It pings her service phone and personal phone simultaneously. It also activates a live audio stream from the button microphone and a live video stream from all 4 exterior cameras. Danny will see and hear everything in real time. It's my panic button. I've never had to use one in my life. I have a feeling I'm about to. I lay it all out on my kitchen table. Cameras, microphone, alert ring. It's a strange sight in a house meant for peace and quiet. This is the part of the job I was trying to leave behind: the planning, the anticipation, the cold, methodical preparation for a conflict you know is coming. My world-weary side, my protective side, takes over. I will not be a victim in my own home. I will not let this woman terrorize this street. I am turning her weapon into... She uses fear of the unknown. I will use the certainty of the recorded fact. I call my sturdest patrol officer, a big, quiet man named Boone. He's solid as a rock, and a good driver under pressure. Boone, it's Ryland, Chief. Everything all right? I need you to be on standby for me. Unofficial, might get a call from Lieutenant Reyes. If you do, I need you to grab an unmarked unit and move fast. Can you do that? Yes, sir, he says. No questions. That's Boone. I also make 2 phone calls to neighbors, the young family who brought cookies, and neighbor Duke across the street. I keep it simple. Hey, this is Mark Ryland from down the street. I'm having a little bit of a disagreement with our friendly neighborhood HOA president. If you see any commotion at my place in the next few days, would you mind filming it with your phone? From your window is fine, just for my own records. Duke laughs. That woman's a piece of work. She tried to fine me because my garden gnome was non-compliant with community aesthetic standards. You got it. Chief, I'll keep an eye out. The other family is more hesitant, but they agree. They're scared. They're exactly the kind of people Karen Van Fleet preys on. Now I have a network. Eyes inside, eyes outside, high-tech and low-tech. Everything is in place. All the pieces are on the board. I feel the familiar calm settle over me. The calm before the storm. It's the same feeling I used to get in the back of a SWAT van, rolling silent toward a barricaded door. You've done the prep. You've checked your gear. You've briefed your team. There's nothing left to do but wait for the other side to make their move, and they always do. I sit in my living room and watch the sun go down. Another red notice is on my door. This one is for failure to comply. The fine is now $500. The notice says a lien will be placed on my property. It says legal action is pending. It's all nonsense. Forged documents have no legal power, but they have the power of fear. I crumple it up and toss it in the trash. I am no longer playing defense. I have laid a trap. Now, I just need the quarry to step into it. Tomorrow, I expect they will come for me. They will come with threats and fake authority. They will try to make an example of me, and I will let them. I will smile. I will comply, and I will record every single second of it. She thinks this is about a lawn. She has no idea this is about to become a felony investigation, and she is the star witness against herself. The morning arrives gray and damp. It feels like the calm has broken. I put on the shirt with the microphone button. I slip the panic ring onto my finger. I make coffee and wait. I don't have to wait long. Around 10 a.m., a dark SUV with tinted windows pulls up to my curb. It's one of those oversized, aggressive-looking vehicles that people buy to feel tough. It has no official markings. 2 men get out. They are dressed in what they think are police uniforms. From across the sidewalk, the uniforms read as legit. Navy shirts, silver shields, shoulder patches. But the crest is wrong, and the numbers don't match on inspection. Clean navy fabric, shiny shields, rental belts. I've trained with cops for 20 years. Cops have a certain way of moving, a practiced economy of motion. These guys are actors, bad ones. A third person gets out of the passenger side. It's Karen Van Fleet. She's wearing a blazer and holding her clipboard like a scepter. She points at my front door. She's giving the 2 goons their instructions. Her face is a mask of grim satisfaction. I let them take center stage. They walk up my driveway. I see neighbor Duke's curtains twitch across the street. I see the young mother next door peeking through her blinds, her phone visible in her hand. My network is active. The 2 men flank my front door. Karen stands behind them, ready to savor her victory. One of them pounds on the door, not a knock. A pound, an assertion of power. I take a deep breath, smooth my shirt, and open the door. I look at them with a neutral, slightly confused expression. The concerned citizen, look, can I help you? I ask. The bigger of the 2 men puffs out his chest. Mark Ryland, that's me. We have a warrant for your arrest, he says, holding up a piece of paper. I take it. It's another masterpiece of forgery. It has a fake court seal and a judge's name I know for a fact has been retired for 5 years. The charges are comical. Criminal defiance of community bylaws. That's not a thing. It's legal gibberish meant to sound terrifying. This seems a little extreme for a long fine, I say, keeping my voice steady and calm. Garn steps forward, a cruel smile on her face. You were warned, Mr. Ryland. We don't tolerate lawbreakers on Oak Street. You have brought this on yourself. Now, are you going to comply, or are we going to have to do this the hard way? I look at the two men. I look at Karen. They are so sure of themselves. They are standing on my property, threatening me with fake documents and fake authority, all because they believe I am just another scared homeowner. This is the moment, the core of their entire criminal enterprise. Impersonating peace officers. Extortion while impersonating authority. These are serious felonies. These are hard-time charges. I raise my hand slowly, a gesture of surrender. No trouble, I say. I'll comply. The relief on their faces is palpable. They were expecting a fight, a shouting match. They don't know what to do with quiet compliance. The bigger one pulls out a pair of cheap, shiny handcuffs. He fumbles with them. He doesn't know the proper procedure. He yanks my arms behind my back with more force than necessary. The metal bites into my wrists. I don't flinch. I look directly at Karen Van Vliet and I smile. It's not a big smile, just a small, knowing curve of my lips. It's a smile that says, you have no idea what you've just done. The smile infuriates her. Her face tightens. Wipe that stupid grin off your face. She spits. You're in serious trouble. The two goons lead me off my porch and down the sidewalk. The perp walk. It's a classic intimidation tactic. They want all my neighbors to see me being arrested. They want to make an example of me. They want to cement their power over this street. What they don't realize is that I want the same thing. I want everyone to see this. Neighbors are filming. My button mic is live. Across the street, Duke is on his porch, his phone held high, recording everything. The family next door is filming from their window. It's a beautiful, clear, multi-angle shot of a felony in progress. Neighbors upload raw files to our evidence link. Hashes log on intake for chain of custody. Timestamps and device IDs attach on upload. Duke's leaf blower coughs to life like a chainsaw clearing its throat. He steps out onto his porch, just a guy. Coffee mug in one hand, blower in the other, pointed nowhere. Humming. Karen snaps. Noise violation, 90 decibels. Duke cups an ear. What? Sorry, I only enforce compliant gnomes. The smaller goon flinches, half turns, finger too close to his trigger guard. I tilt my head. Careful with that prop, hero. He bristles. Karen hisses, eyes forward. Across the street, the young mom's blinds click. Another phone pointed at us. A dog yaps, then another. The neighborhood is awake and watching, and the goons can feel it. The big one tightens the cuffs to reassert control. I wince just enough for the camera and smile at Karen again, wider this time. She finally looks rattled. As they walk me toward their SUV. My right hand is cuffed behind my back. My thumb is free. I press it gently against the ring on my finger. 1 tap. 2 taps. The signal is sent. Danny opens a case number and pushes command notifications. By the book from here on. Miles away in her office, Lieutenant Danny Reyes's phone is screaming. The live feeds are open. She can see what I see. She can hear what I hear. She knows the trap has been sprung. You're making a big mistake, I say to the goons, my voice loud enough for the microphone to pick it up clearly. Impersonating a police officer is a felony in this state. The smaller one laughs. Just shut up and get in the car, old man. The only one making a mistake here is you. They open the back door of the SUV. Karen stands by, watching, her arms crossed. She is the picture of triumph. She thinks she has won. She thinks she has crushed the one person who dared to defy her. She has just handed me her entire operation on a silver platter. They push me into the back seat. The door slams shut. As they get in the front, I know the first part of the plan is complete. They have taken the bait. Now they are in my world, a world of real cops, real laws, and very real consequences. The SUV starts to move. They think they're taking me away. They have no idea I'm taking them down. The inside of the SUV smells like cheap air freshener and stale coffee. The two fake cops are in the front seats, chuckling. They're high on their little power trip. Karen isn't with them. Her part was the public humiliation. Their part is the follow-through, whatever that is. Probably drive me around for an hour, threaten me some more, and then dump me in a park somewhere, hoping I'm too scared and embarrassed to do anything about it. It's a classic bully move. Isolate, intimidate, abandon. It works on most people. I am not most people. The man in the passenger seat, the smaller one, turns around to look at me. He has a weaselly face and a smug grin. Not so tough now, are you, Mr. Ryland? Should have just paid the fine. Would have been easier. I just look at him. I don't say a word. Silence is its own kind of weapon. It unnerves people like him. They need a reaction. They feed on fear and anger. I give them nothing. I am a stone. He scoffs and turns back around. The driver is talking on his phone, his voice low. Yeah, we got him. No problem. He folded like a cheap suit. We're heading out to the spot now. He's reporting in, probably to Karen. This confirms it's an organized effort. Conspiracy. That's another charge to add to the list. I need to make my move. The perp walk gave me the opportunity. But I had to be sure no one was looking directly at me in that split second. As they were pushing me toward the SUV, I stumbled on purpose. My body leaned against the rear bumper of the vehicle. My cuffed hands were behind me, right against the dark plastic. It was a natural-looking motiony clumsy man, losing his balance, but my hand wasn't clumsy, as my body made contact. My fingers found the small magnetic disc I had palmed from my pocket. It's a GPS tracker, small, powerful, with a battery that lasts for weeks. I had it tucked between my fingers, held in place by the pressure of the handcuffs. In the 1 second that I was off balance, I pressed it firmly onto the underside of the bumper. I felt the strong magnet catch the metal frame. Because they abducted me, I tagged the bumper. Danny logs exigency and pushes an e-warrant while units shadow the SUV. The dot joins the live tail. Officer safety first. The tracker is live. My team doesn't just have audio and video of the abduction. They have a moving dot on a map. They know exactly where I am, where I'm going, and how fast I'm getting there. The SUV turns onto a main road, picking up speed. The driver is getting cocky. He's weaving through traffic. I look out the window. I see the familiar landmarks of my city. I'm not worried. I have absolute faith in my people and Danny. In Boone, I know they are already moving. In my mind, I can hear the radio chatter. Danny, calm and professional, coordinating the units. Boone in his unmarked interceptor, closing the distance. Other ghost cars piloted by the best officers on the force, taking up positions. They won't use lights or sirens. Not yet. They will shadow us. They will wait for the perfect moment, the perfect location, a place with minimal traffic and a clear line of sight, a place where they can control the environment completely. This is the part of the job that is like a chess game. You anticipate your opponent's moves and you position your pieces to counter them 3 steps ahead. Karen and her crew think they're playing checkers. They just moved their king into the open with no defense. Checkmate is coming. The men in the front are talking about what they're going to do. With the $500 Karen paid them for this little job, they're arguing about whether to spend it on beer or on video games. They are small men. Their ambitions are small. Their crime, however, is not. They are blissfully unaware of the net that is closing around them. I lean my head back against the seat and close my eyes. I focus on my breathing. In and out. The same calming exercise I've done 1,000 times before a higher-esque breach. Stay calm, stay ready. Let the plan work. The SUV takes a sharp right turn, heading toward an industrial park on the outskirts of town. A perfect kill zone. They'd chosen the industrial park. My team waited for a low-traffic stretch with clear sightlines. Public safety first. Few witnesses. Long straight roads, multiple points of entry and exit for my team to block. The passenger turns to me again. Hey, when we let you go, you're going to forget this ever happened. You're going to go home, and you're going to pay your fines, and you're not going to call the cops. Understand? Because we know where you live. It's a direct threat, and it's the last piece of evidence I need. It's all recorded. The impersonation, the abduction, the extortion, the threat. It's a complete package, tied up with a neat little bow. I understand, I say, my voice flat. What I understand is that they have just sealed their fate. They think they're in control. They think they hold all the cards. But outside this vehicle, a real police operation is reaching its final, critical phase. The game is about to change drastically, and they are not going to like the new rules. The SUV slows down as we enter the industrial park. The trap is set. Now it's time to spring it. The world outside the SUV is a blur of gray warehouses and empty parking lots. The driver is looking for a specific spot, a deserted side road where they plan to deliver their final speech and leave me. He's so focused on his task, he doesn't see the first car. It's a beat-up construction van that pulls out from a side street ahead of us, moving slowly. It forces him to slow down. He mutters a curse. He's annoyed. He has no idea the van is part of the plan. He doesn't see the black sedan that pulls up behind us, boxing us in from the rear. He doesn't notice the dark pickup truck that appears in the lane to our left, a truck I recognize. It's Boone. He's driving. He looks calm. He looks ready. I feel a subtle vibration through the floor of the SUV. I have a small receiver in my shoe. Another old piece of SWAT gear. It's a simple device that gives me haptic feedback. A single short buzz. It's the signal from Danny. Takedown initiated. I brace myself. The construction van in front of us suddenly slams on its brakes. Our driver, caught by surprise, stomps on his own brake pedal. The tires screech on the pavement. We lurch forward. The seatbelt digs into my chest. Behind us, the black sedan closes the gap. Its bumper kissing the SUV's. To our left, Boone's truck swerves, blocking any chance of a lane change. In a matter of 2 seconds, we are stationary. We are trapped. A perfect rolling box-in. The driver's knuckles are white on the steering wheel. What the hell is this? He shouts. The passenger is looking around. his weaselly face pale with confusion and dawning fear. I don't know, man. I don't know. They still haven't realized what's happening. They think it's a traffic accident or a road rage incident. Their minds can't make the leap. They can't comprehend that the tables have just been turned so completely, so irrevocably. The doors of the surrounding vehicles fly open. Men and women in full tactical gear emerge. They are not wearing cheap surplus store costumes. They are my people, the city's finest. They carry real weapons, and they move with the fluid, deadly grace of trained professionals. The scene erupts in a cacophony of sirens, but shouted commands. Police, show me your hands. Do it now. The voices are overlapping, coming from all directions. It's overwhelming. It's designed to be. It shocks the system and shuts down the brain's ability to think or resist. The two goons in the front seat freeze. They look like deer caught in the headlights of a freight train. Their tough guy act has evaporated. All that's left is pure, undiluted panic. Hands on the dash. Let me see your hands. Boone's voice cuts through the noise. He is standing outside the driver's side door, his weapon aimed squarely at the driver's head. His expression is unreadable. He is all business. The driver, slowly, shakily, raises his hands and puts them on the dashboard. The passenger does the same. His hands are trembling. The back doors of the SUV are wrenched open. Two officers are there, weapons ready. One of them looks at me. He's a young kid from the academy, but his eyes are steady. Chief, you okay, sir? I'm fine, son, I say. Get me out of these things. He quickly unlocks the cheap handcuffs. The metal falls away from my wrists. I rub them for a moment, the circulation returning. I step out of the SUV and into the middle of the controlled chaos of a high-risk felony stop. Two uniformed officers walk me to a marked cruiser for an eval and ID check. Standard scene control. That's the photo the neighbors share. Me, smiling. Between real cops, the air is electric with tension. I am no longer the victim. I am no longer the passenger. I am the chief of police. And this is my scene. I walk around to the front of the SUV. The two suspects are being pulled from the vehicle by my officers. Their faces pressed against the hood. They are being searched, cuffed with real handcuffs this time, and read their rights. The passenger is blubbering. It was just a joke, man. We were just trying to scare him.
The driver is silent. He's smart enough to know that it's too late for excuses. I stand there and watch. I let the procedure unfold exactly as it should. There will be no mistakes on this arrest. No procedural errors. Everything will be by the book. My book. Boone comes over to me. They have two weapons, Chief. One in a shoulder holster on the passenger. It's a convincing-looking airsoft pistol. The other one was under the driver's seat. It's a 9mm, real. Serial number's been filed off. My gut tightens. This just escalated again, from impersonation and kidnapping to a serious federal firearms charge. Good work, Boone, I say. Let's toss the vehicle. I want it taken apart piece by piece. Danny Reyes pulls up in her own unmarked car. She gets out, her phone pressed to her ear. Leonard's to her ear. She looks at me and gives me a small, sharp nod. The nod says, "We got them. What's next?" I look at the two pathetic figures being placed in the back of separate patrol cars. Their little reign of terror is over. They were the muscle, the hired help. Now it's time to go after the head of the snake. Danny, I say, walking over to her. They threatened me. They admitted they were paid. We've got impersonating a police officer, extortion, kidnapping, false imprisonment, and the firearms violation. That's more than enough for a warrant. I want a warrant for Karen Van Fleet's house, her car, her computers, and any storage units in her name. I want a warrant for all her financial records. I want everything. Danny smiles, already typing. It's up, Chief. The trap for the pawns has been sprung. Now we use them as bait to catch the queen. The industrial park is now a full-blown crime scene. The area is sealed off with yellow tape. My forensic team is swarming over the dark SUV, their white suits like ghosts in the gray afternoon. Every surface is being dusted for prints. Every fiber is being collected. They are methodical and thorough. I stand with Boone and watch them work. "You want to start the interview with these two?" he asks. I shake my head. Not yet. Let them sit. Let them think about the rest of their lives. They'll be much more cooperative in a few hours. Right now, this vehicle is our priority. It's going to tell us a story. And it does. The first discovery is in the glove compartment. They find a stack of red violation notices identical to the ones I received. They are pre-printed with blank spaces for the offense and the fine. Underneath them is a binder. Inside the binder are crude maps of different neighborhoods with certain houses circled. My street is in there. My house is circled in red ink. It's a target list. The second discovery is under the back seat, a lockbox. It's not very secure. A few taps with a pry bar and it pops open. Inside are several dozen fake police badges. They are cheap, shiny things, but they would look real enough from a distance to scare the average person. Beside the badges are wads of cash held together with rubber bands. Boone counts it. Mine counts it. Over $5,000 here, Chief. It's extortion money. Cash payments from scared homeowners who just wanted their harassment to stop. Each bundle of cash has a sticky note on it with an address. It's a receipt book of their crime. This is a criminal enterprise. Racketeering, that's a charge that gets the federal government's attention. The feds love racketeering cases. They come with serious time, forfeiture tools, and wide conspiracy reach. The third and most important discovery is a phone, a cheap prepaid burner phone. It's tucked into the side pocket of the driver's door. It's password protected. Danny files an e-warrant. The on-call judge signs within minutes, and our lab starts a lawful extraction. I hand it to one of my tech guys. I want everything off this. Text messages, call logs, location data. I want to know who they called right before they picked me up and who they called after. Expedited. He nods and rushes off to his van, a mobile tech lab. This phone is the digital thread that will connect these two goons directly to Karen Van Fleet. It will turn their testimony from a he-said-she-said argument into a verified time-stamped fact. While the search continues, I walk over to the patrol car holding the driver. I open the back door. He looks up at me, his eyes wide with fear. His tough guy act is completely gone. He looks like a scared kid. The gun with the serial number filed off. I say, my voice low and calm. That's a federal felony. Up to 5 years plus state time. That's before we even get to the kidnapping and the impersonation charges. You're looking at 20, maybe 30 years. You're a young man. You'll be old and gray when you get out. He starts to cry, silent tears running down his cheeks. Your friend in the other car, I continue. He's going to talk. He's going to tell us everything. He's going to say it was all your idea. He's going to make a deal to testify against you. And he'll be out in 5 years while you rot. The first one to talk gets the best deal. That's how this works. It's a classic interrogation technique. Divide and conquer. It's also the truth. I close the door and walk over to the other car where the passenger is being held. I give him the exact same speech. I'm planting a seed of doubt in each of them. A race to see who can betray the other one first. It usually doesn't take long. I've done my part. Now it's up to them. I turn back to the SUV. Boone is holding up a plastic evidence bag. Inside is a set of keys. Found these clipped to the sun visor. One looks like a house key. One key has a brass stamp. Storico Self-Storage 218. Boone cross-checks their ledger. The unit is rented to Karen Van Fleet's LLC. The others are padlock keys that match the facility hardware. I take the bag and look at the keys. A storage unit. When? A perfect place to keep your incriminating evidence off-site. A place where you think it's safe. It's a common mistake for amateur criminals. Danny walks over, holding her phone. Warrants are live. We have warrants for her house, her car, and all storage units leased by her or her LLC per facility records. She is efficient. She is the best. Good, I say. Boone, take these keys. There's a big self-storage place a few miles from her neighborhood. Start there. Take a team. If the key fits, you go in quietly. I want to see what's in there before she even knows we have her boys. Boone nods and takes the keys. He knows what to do. The tech analyst comes running back from his van. He's holding a laptop. Chief, you need to see this. The burner phone. The last call made before they arrived at your house was to a number labeled K-Boss. We cross-referenced the number. It's registered to Karen Van Fleet. There's also a text message from her sent 20 minutes ago. It says, "Is it done? Is the trash taken out?" My blood runs cold. Is the trash taken out? That's not the language of a simple eviction or a scare tactic. That's something darker. That single text message elevates everything. It speaks to intent. It paints a picture of a woman who is not just a con artist, but someone truly malicious. The evidence is a flood now. We have the car, the cash, the badges, the weapons. We have the digital trail. We have the thread on my body microphone. We have multiple witnesses. The case is no longer just solid. It's airtight. Now we just need to find the rest of her king. And thanks to a cheap padlock key, I think we're about to find the vault. The storage facility is a sprawling complex of orange and blue metal doors. It's anonymous, impersonal, a place where people keep the parts of their lives they don't want to look at every day. For Karen Van Fleet, it's where she keeps the parts of her criminal life. Boone and his team are waiting for me. They have isolated the correct unit, Unit 218. The key slid in and turned without a problem. They haven't opened the door yet. They were waiting for me. Let's see what she's hiding, I say. Boone cuts the cheap lock provided by the facility, a formality to maintain the chain of custody. He and another officer roll up the heavy metal door. The air that rushes out is stale and smells of ink and paper. The unit is not full of old furniture or forgotten memories. It's an office. A desk, a chair, and several large filing cabinets are pushed against one wall. On the other side are stacks and stacks of printing paper, boxes of envelopes, and a high-end commercial printer. This is her factory. This is where she mass-produces the red notices. This is where she forges her documents of intimidation. We start with the filing cabinets. They are not locked. She was arrogant. She believed no one would ever find this place. The first drawer is labeled Oak Street. Inside are files for every single house on my street. My file is right in the front. It has my name on it, the date I moved in, and copies of all the violation notices she sent me. It also has a printout of my property tax records and the purchase price of my home. She was doing her homework. She was targeting new residents, people who wouldn't know the neighborhood, people who were more likely to be intimidated. But behind my file are others. Files for people who used to live on the street, and clipped to their files are copies of cashed checks, payments for the fake fines. Some are for $50, some are for hundreds. One family paid over $2,000 in a single year for violations like holiday decorations left up too long and unapproved mailbox color. It's a record of her success. It's a testament to her cruelty. Then we find the other drawers. They are labeled with other neighborhood names. Willow Creek, Pine Ridge Estates, Maple Lane. She wasn't just running her scam on my street. She was running it all over the city. She had multiple fake HOA, all run by her, all funneling money into her pockets. This is bigger than I ever imagined. This is a one-woman crime wave. In the last filing cabinet, we hit the mother lode. It's her corporate ledger. One drawer is full of documents related to her shell corporations. She has multiple LLCs set up, all with generic names. They are the legal entities she uses to cash the checks and hide the money. The other drawer contains the real prize, the original forgeries. There are stacks of blank legal paper with forged letterheads from the county clerk's office. There are fake property lien forms. There were even templates for court orders with a scanned and photocopied signature of a judge. This is the evidence that will put her away for a very long time. This is not just fraud. This is a sophisticated, long-term criminal conspiracy. Danny arrives. I show her the files. I show her the forgeries. Her face, usually so calm and composed, shows a flicker of real anger. She was targeting the elderly, Danny says, holding up a file from the Willow Creek neighborhood. Look at this. She threatened an 80-year-old woman with foreclosure over the state of her rose bushes. The woman sold her house and moved into a retirement home. She notes here that the woman was a soft target. She profiled her victims. My protective instinct flares. This is the lowest of the low, preying on the vulnerable, using the fear of losing one's home as a weapon. This is the kind of person I put my SWAT team together to stop. This is the kind of person who deserves to be behind bars. We have more than enough, I say, my voice hard. While we were here, the financial warrant came through. I had our white-collar guys take a look. Karen Van Fleet has 3 bank accounts. 2 of them have almost no money, just enough for her daily life. The third is a corporate account for one of her shell LLC. It has a balance of over $250,000. All of it from deposits that match the checks from these files. The picture is complete. The crime, the victims, the tools, the money. We have it all. We have the entire criminal enterprise, from the cheap red paper she used for her notices to the bank account where she stashed the profits. She has a board meeting tonight, Danny says, looking at her phone. We got it from the burner phone texts. She holds them in her garage. It's her, the 2 goons we have in custody, and a couple of other board members, probably a few neighbors she has roped into her scheme, either through intimidation or a small cut of the profits. A board meeting, the queen on her throne surrounded by her court. It's perfect. It's the perfect place to end this. Get the team ready, I say to Danny. We're not going to just knock on her door. We're going to raid that meeting. I want her arrested in front of her entire fake board. I want them all to see what happens when you mock the law. We close the storage unit door. It's no longer just a place of storage. It's a sealed tomb of evidence. Karen Van Fleet's empire is about to come crashing down, and I'm going to be there to watch it fall. She tried to take my home. Now I am going to take her freedom. Unmarked cars are parked at either end of the block. Officers are on foot, hidden in the shadows of the big oak trees. We move with a silence born of years of practice. We are a silent, closing fist. I'm with Boone and a small entry team, staged in neighbor Duke's backyard. He's inside his house watching his television with the volume turned up loud, pretending nothing is happening, just like I asked him to. From his yard, we have a clear view of Karen Van Fleet's house, specifically her garage. We can hear the low murmur of voices. The board meeting is in session. I have a small listening device, a directional microphone aimed at the garage. I can hear Karen's voice. It's sharp, angry, unacceptable. He was supposed to be a simple matter. Now he's disappeared, and so have my employees. This reflects poorly on our organization, her organization. The delusion is breathtaking. She's talking about me. She still has no idea that her employees are in a holding cell, racing to be the first one to testify against her. She still thinks she's in control. Danny is in my ear, whispering updates from the command post she set up in her car. All units are in place, Chief. We have the house surrounded. No exits are uncovered. We're ready on your go. I look at my team. 4 good officers, including Boone. They are dressed in plain clothes, but they are wearing tactical vests underneath. They are armed, and they are ready. Okay, I whisper into my radio. Let's go. Quiet approach. We hit the side door of the garage on my signal. We move across the lawns like shadows. We stick to the darkness between the houses. No one sees us. We reach the side of Karen's house. The small door into the garage is unlocked. Another sign of her arrogance. I put my hand on the doorknob. I can hear her still talking inside. She's lecturing her 2 other board members, a nervous-looking man and woman I recognize from the neighborhood. They are her sycophants, her enablers. When I find them, Karen is saying, they are going to learn a serious lesson about loyalty. I don't let her finish the sentence. I nod to my team. Onward all. I turn the knob and shove the door open hard. Police! Nobody move! I shout. We flood into the garage. The scene is exactly as I pictured it. Karen is standing at a makeshift podium. Her 2 board members are sitting at a folding table looking terrified. For a split second, everyone freezes. Karen's face goes through a rapid series of emotions. First confusion, then outrage. Finally, as she recognizes me, pure, unadulterated panic. The Queen's castle has been breached. Her reign is over. The 2 board members put their hands in the air immediately. They want no part of what's coming. But Karen is a cornered rat, and cornered rats fight. She lets out a shriek and shoves the podium over. It crashes to the floor. She makes a run for the interior door that leads into the house. She's not getting away. Boone moves to intercept her. He is faster than he looks. He cuts off her path. She tries to dodge around him. She's wiry and quick. She actually shoves him, trying to get past. Boone doesn't budge. He's an oak tree. He grabs her arm. She struggles, twisting and kicking. Get your hands off me. She screams, I am the president of the chaos. You have the right to remain silent, I say, walking calmly toward her. I pull out my own set of handcuffs, the real ones. I take her other arm. With Boone holding one and me holding the other, her struggling stops. She is trapped. Karen Van Fleet, I say, you are under arrest for extortion, conspiracy to commit fraud, racketeering, criminal impersonation, and forgery of a government seal. I click the first cuff around her wrist. It makes a loud final sound in the quiet garage. She looks at me, her eyes burning with hatred. You can't do this. I'll sue you. I'll have your badge. I click the second cuff on. You can tell it to the judge, I say. I turn her around to face her 2 board members, who are now being detained by my other officers. This is what happens, I say. My voice loud enough for everyone to hear. This is what happens when you create your own set of rules. This is what happens when you mock the law. It's over. I lead her out of the garage and into the flashing blue and red lights of the patrol cars that have now pulled up in front of her house. The whole street is lit up. Neighbors are coming out onto their porches. They are seeing the queen in chains. They are seeing the end of her tyranny. The fear on this street is broken. It's a clean epilogue to a dirty story. As I put her in the back of the patrol car, she gives me one last venomous glare. "You haven't won," she hisses. I just look at her. I don't need to say anything. The flashing lights, the grim-faced officers, the clicking of the car door as it locks her inside. They say it all. She lost. She just hasn't accepted it yet. She will. She'll have a long time to think about it in a very small room with no one to bully. A month later, I'm on my porch with coffee, sun on the railing, kids laughing down the block. Duke waves from his mower. The street feels light again. No notes on doors, no whispers, just peace. The case moved fast. The storage unit, the bank records, the burner phone, the videos. Too much to fight. Her 2 hired men pled out. The driver takes a federal firearms count, filed off serial, and stacks state time on impersonation and kidnapping. But the hammer lands on Karen Van Fleet. In court, the judge laid it out plain. A long scheme built on fear, forged papers, and fake badges. He called it a campaign of intimidation against her own neighbors. Sentence: 15 years in federal custody, 3 years supervised release, no contact with victims, and a permanent injunction barring her from any HOA, board, or property management role. The court also ordered forfeiture: printers, plates, cash, the SUV, and every shell company account tied to the scam. Restitution is already rolling. A court administrator is cutting checks. Liens she filed are void. Names are cleared. People who moved out get refunds with interest. The state set up a hotline. More victims called. 2 copycat boards in nearby towns went down the next week. Same red paper, same trick. Not anymore. Inside, the last box is gone, and my grandpa's photo sits on the mantle. He liked order, but never worshipped rules. Rules serve people, he used to say, not the other way. I think about that as I look at my street. Open doors, front yard chats, a real neighborhood again. On my desk at the station, there's a training replica of one of her 10 badges. We use the real ones for classes now. How to spot fakes, how to preserve phone video, how to build a clean case. It reminds me that a badge isn't a costume. It's trust, it's work, it's proof. She tried to run this block with fear. We answered with facts, witnesses, and the law. Slow, steady, final. The quiet I bought the house for is back. Not the kind that hides trouble, the kind you earn. This is my home. These are my people. The fence line is clear again. And if anyone tries the same game on this street, they won't meet a fake board. They'll meet me